Hey, what is up everybody? I am Nick, this is NC Tech, and today we've got some juicy news for you and we are going to dive right in. Four main topics are coming at you. Apple is releasing iOS 13.1 a week and a half early. Samsung is releasing their Galaxy Fold version 2, finally coming out now. Apple will be manufacturing its new MacBook Pros in Texas, just like the old ones were, because of some trade deal negotiations, as well as Amazon now debuting their new wireless earbuds to take on the Airpods. Before we dive right in, give us a thumbs up. As we mentioned, Apple is pushing their iOS 13.1 and iPad OS to September 24th. As of this video being debuted, that is tomorrow morning. Apple is bumping the release date for its first big iOS 13 update, iOS 13.1, to September 24th, instead of originally announcing that for September 30th. The company confirmed these revised dates to The Verge, as we're looking at right now. iOS 13.1 will bring several features that didn't make the cut for the initial iOS 13 release. So 13.1 is going to bring automated Siri shortcut actions, share an ETA feature in Apple Maps, data separation for enterprise devices, and more importantly, Apple has promised that 13.1 will bring some general bug fixes to iOS 13, which right now on my iPhone XS Max, iOS 13 is crushing the battery. It is just killing it. I can't get more than half a day out of the battery on iOS 13 without it just crushing it. So hopefully iOS 13.1 is going to fix that. There's also been a lock screen bypass and just general security fixes that they need to bring about. Other features for iOS 13 that have not launched yet are Airpods sharing and new HomeKit features, which these were a big feature in their keynote earlier this year. And these updates, remember guys, are happening tomorrow, the 24th, and that's gonna be released at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So let's jump over to Samsung. Samsung will start selling the Galaxy Fold in the US on September 27th. The Galaxy Fold is their new feature phone. $2,000, $1,980, $2,000 for a folding smartphone. If you haven't seen the folding smartphones have had a lot of initial testing. While the Samsung Galaxy Fold has launched in Korea and parts of Europe earlier this month, Samsung provided customers with what it calls Premier Service, which includes one-on-one help getting started with the Fold and its accessories, plus direct access to Samsung experts 24/7 for their guidance and support. As you remember, when this originally debuted, Samsung sent out some review units to some YouTubers, and immediately they had a massive amount of failures across most of the devices. It looks like they've cleared up many of the failures. If you go on Jerry Rig Everything's YouTube's website, Zach's website on YouTube, you can see that he did an initial review of it. It looks like it is a pretty good phone. It's definitely a first version, well, a second version at this point, but they do have a long way to go. I personally am not sold on the idea of it yet. It did seem that when he did his original review of it, of the version 2 that they're shipping now, that the screen itself is very malleable, meaning that it's going to not take a whole lot for it to be damaged. Secondly, by pouring a little bit of sand on it, really messed up the internals when he was closing it. So you could hear the sand crunching back and forth, which you definitely don't want that in a smartphone. Moving on, Apple will manufacture its new MacBook in Texas. Apple hinted that it wanted to manufacture the redesigned MacBook Pro in Texas. Now it is official. The company has confirmed that it will assemble the workstation in the same Austin, Texas plant that had produced the cylindrical MacBook Pro since 2013. The company isn't shy about the reason for its move. It's reportedly enabled by an exemption from Trump's China tariffs. Trump and China have been going back and forth with their tariffs. Apple had received 10 out of its 15 requested exemptions for components like partial circuit boards. While Apple has a network of US suppliers for its products, many of the parts for the computers and those of its rivals are still made in China. The company wouldn't have seen much benefit from US assembly if it had to pay a premium for some of the Mac Pro's key ingredients. CEO Tim Cook has hinted at the possibility in July that this deal was being done. Now Apple is able to assemble the Mac Pro. Here in the US, few people will be paying $6,000 for a tower. However, they are extremely demanded towers now that they're much more configurable than the cylinders of the past. And lastly, moving on to Amazon. It sounds like Amazon's wireless earbuds will double as fitness trackers. It's clear that Amazon is trying to undercut Apple with this move by most likely pricing their AirPod competitors at $100 and having fitness tracking already built into them. I think that this is a clear move that Amazon is trying to take market share away from Apple, especially with how well the Apple AirPods have been received. I'm excited to see how these are going to come across, especially in the consumer marketplace where they wouldn't have to be necessarily tied to the iOS ecosystem. AirPods can be used in other ecosystems, however, it's not as easy. So we'll see if Amazon can sharpen their pencil and get these to work very seamlessly across the board. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and we'll check you next time. Take care. Bye, guys.